my Lord. We got snow. We got snow. Oh my God. What the heck? Wowzers. At least it's fluffy. Like, perfect temperatures. It's safe to say that we have 2 inches. I'm waiting for AJ, and we're gonna be going out and taking care of this tonight. There's potential for lake effect snow, so we could get more, but I'm playing my cards in the way that it's kind of a double-edged sword. It sucks that we're going out all night. It sucks that we got a whole bunch of snow, but if that's all that sucks, that's all we have to deal with. Now, if we get that lake effect snow, the suck meter kind of gets jacked up a little bit. We'll have to go back out and run the route again. But I think I'd rather do that than have to clear potentially twice the amount of snow. So that's how I'm playing this one. I gotta shovel the driveway. Mental toughness. Let me rephrase all that. We're lucky that we're healthy enough to go out and take care of people in this crazy storm. Does not suck. It is a blessing. Grateful. Positivity. Fun. Excitement. Tears of joy. Okay. And now the driveway is done. And AJ is here. Perfect timing. Needless to say, I'm not so sure about this Ariens. Ariens. That's one of the guys in the comments said it's not Ariens, it's Ariens. Okay, so I'm not so sure about this Ariens because well, it's been giving me a bunch of minor issues since I've got it. Nothing, catastrophic, but it is it's beginning to become a little bit of a what's the word? It's becoming a little bit too common for these minor things to be popping up, considering how new this machine is. And the Toros that I've had have given me virtually no problems since day one. So I'm gonna pull this thing up. That squealing noise started halfway through the biggest snowstorm of the year. Luckily I had the Toro to kind of use as a backup when this thing really started squealing. I think it's something to do with the belt, but I'm gonna pull that cover off and take a look. All right. Oof. Oof. What is going on here? Party people, what the heck? Something's getting chewed up, eh? Yeah, that belt's getting annihilated. What? Huh. Well, not too cool. Like, why? I'm not sure. I'm not an Ariens tech, but... Oh, Ariens. I'm not an Ariens tech. But what I am is not frickin' pleased. So I guess here, when you pull the handle, this engages. That pulls this down, and that engages our belt. Now, is something not spinning? That looks like it's pretty... Obviously, I'm not a mechanic or a technician or anything, but, you know, we got common sense. We can kind of work with the common sense here, but... Have you guys ever dealt with this? Anybody with an Ariens? I'm just going to call it Ariens. I'll try. Anybody with an Ariens machine, you ever deal with something like this? Chewing up belts. What I'm probably going to do is engage this and see if I can hear where it's coming from. So let's do that real quick. And before I get too far into this video, I want to apologize for not filming that big storm. I started filming the first little bit, but you know, real life kind of got in the way, and we were talking knee-high snow in some areas, and I quite frankly just wanted to get it done. I didn't want to pretend like I was having a grand old time and record it. I can only do so much, and I wanted to get the work done as quickly as possible. So what you do get is this. It was brutal, and I didn't want to record. Maybe I should have. Maybe once I get a little bit more efficient at this, I will. But biggest storm of the year by far. Biggest storm, I think, since I've started. Like my first winter, 2021-2022 winter, we got a really big snowstorm. Can't remember quite how much it was, but it was a lot of snow. It's the only one that I can think of that is comparable to this one that we just got. Other areas got hit even harder, like Toronto and even Burlington. Burlington to Toronto, 40, 50 centimeters. I mean, you can look at the headlines yourself, but Toronto actually got hit with record-breaking snow. This is the most snow this last storm that has ever fallen in one single day since they started recording snowfalls in Toronto. So it just goes to show we're an hour south of Toronto. So we kind of got just, I don't want to say the tail end, because we got 20, 30 centimeters out here now, but it was one for the books, and I'm glad not every storm's like that, because you sure as shit wouldn't be doing snow removal. But that's what people are paying for, so they don't have to go out and deal with these big storms when we get them. And me and AJ were working through it, and we were kind of saying, like, $1,500 for the season doesn't sound too bad now, eh? So anyways, let's get into this thing, see if we can figure out why we are squealing like a pig. Another thing, the Toros, once they're warm, first pull, every stop. You drive to the next one, fire it up. Drive to the next one, fire it up. This thing, you gotta mess with the choke. You gotta prime it, like at least half choke. I don't think it's ever started first pull. And I'm talking like you run it for 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes even. Drive, less than 5 minutes to the next stop, and you have to mess around with the choke and the prime, and 2 or 3 pulls before it even starts. Toros, boom, 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 boom. 1 pull every time once they're warm. Like we just had this running. Well, because of the belt being worn, so something's screwed up. I mean, that is not supposed to do that. And then you've seen when I pulled it off, there's just like belt residue everywhere. So this is wobbling, obviously, because the belt's all chewed up. So that's not probably working the way it should be. This, why is this rusted? I don't know. It's supposed to be brand new. So it makes me think that this may be the culprit. Like it could be a bearing. But it sounds like it's coming from here. So something's screwed up here. I don't think I'm gonna buy another Ariens. And I don't care if I'm calling it the wrong name because I'm not happy. This thing's $500. This thing's $500 more than the Toro. And it's been causing me more problems than I've ever experienced with the Toros. I wanted to like it. I was hyping it up. Like I truly wanted to like it. It seems like a better unit when you look at it on paper. When you look at it, when you're standing behind it, when you're feeling stuff, like it seems like the better unit. But friends, looks apparently can be deceiving. And you know what? Maybe I got a lemon, but that doesn't really change anything because I'm having problems with it. I don't know. Like, if I pop this up like so, should I grease it up or should I just take it back because it's under warranty? Anyone need a belt? I got half of one. Look at this. That's crazy, dude. Like I'm looking at this, like I know what I'm doing. I don't. I'm just trying to see if I can pinpoint where the sound's coming from. Well, obviously it needs a new belt at minimum. So I might as well get it in and see if whatever's wrong with it is covered under warranty. It sure as hell better be. So let's recap here. So far this season, first time using an Ariens product. I got it that time, Mr. Commenter down below. First time using an Ariens product. Not totally stoked about how it's been treating me. It performs great when there's no small things going wrong. And this squealing thing is not a small thing. But this is absolutely chewing up the belt. But let's recap. Number one, I've had to replace the paddles. And when I did have to replace the paddles, you couldn't get any paddles because the only Ariens distributor in Canada pulled out. And you literally couldn't order anything. So I had to scramble and call 1,000 different Ariens dealers to find the only 2 paddles left in Ontario. And that was from hitting a good sized rock. Understandable. Never hit a huge rock with those Toros. Like you kind of want the paddles to give. You don't want to be bending any bars or metals or anything. So understandable. That's fine. But I did have to replace the paddles, and I do have to note it. Secondly, we had the bolt wiggle out of that center cap here. I had the bolt wiggle out just after several hours of use. This I had to replace completely. The bolt and the nut all wiggled out. So this was loose and vibrating and shaking, making a noise. So that had to be replaced. I also have to note that the hour meter does not work. That broke after, couldn't tell you how many hours of use because I can't count now. Toros don't have that hour meter. It's not necessary. It's just a good little bonus to know kind of your oil change intervals, maintenance intervals, things like that. So the hour meter is busted. Second of all, on the big storm yesterday, or 2 days ago now, the way that the engine compartment, which is non-existent, but the way that they have this designed is for ease of maintenance. One downside to that is that, this is exposed. So what happens is in the perfect conditions, this gets frozen. And I did have that happen on the first property that I went to on this last storm. So I went to go pull the pull cord, and it's floppy like a noodle, frozen up in there. Now, when you do give it some torque, I suppose, by engaging this, it slinkied its way back in to the recoil, and I never had a problem since. But just the way that the engine is designed, your pull cord can get frozen and not recoil. Just in general, you may have some problems with that due to freezing in perfect conditions. Number 5, just something that I noticed as I was using the machine. I was clearing a driveway under normal conditions, maybe 6 inches of snowfall, not very heavy stuff, generally light when compared to other snows. This was a couple storms ago, but I had the engine, like I thought it was gonna turn off. It was like bogging down as if it was running out of gas, and I thought I was about to run out of gas, but I didn't. So like, it wasn't deep snow, it wasn't really heavy snow. I was just clearing, and it just bogged down. I'm like, oh, I'm running out of gas. But then it just came back and kept running for 3 more properties. A significant amount longer if it were running out of gas. So obviously it wasn't running out of gas, is what I'm trying to say, and it just like glitched out. It was weird. And that's number 5. Another thing is I had this freeze. Like I don't know if it was frozen or stuck, but I was yanking on this and it would not budge. So I can't remember exactly what I had to do. I think I just smacked it real hard. Small, minor, but it's something that shouldn't happen. I get it, you're out in the freezing conditions. But that's what it's built for. So, and number 7, probably the most impactful problem that I've encountered is the squealing pig belt. And that is just not acceptable. With the low hours and low use that this machine has, I mean, it has not been in any deep storms. Yesterday was light snow. I could maybe see a belt getting chewed up, but it was light stuff. Like I shoveled my entire driveway with the 36-inch snow pusher with very little fatigue. It was not heavy, it was fluffy, light and fluffy. This machine, like the Toro chewed through it. Toro chewed through it, as it did with every other big snow event. It just chews through it. I want to like it. I'm hoping it's just like a minor hiccup. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bad bearing. Got put together on a Friday. But it's not a good first impression. But that's what I'm dealing with. Ariens crapping the bed on me. So I'm going to be getting this over to the dealer that I bought it from. Probably be getting it there yesterday. I should have got it there yesterday, but I was sleeping because I was up all night from the snowstorm. We left at 10 p.m. and didn't get back until 8 a.m. I'm not an old man, but I'm not a young man. And staying up all night, drinking 4 coffees, like, I had fruit, yogurts, like I was eating good because I know if I just drink coffee, my body will shut down. Like I remember a couple years ago, I did a 17-hour snow removal run, and I didn't drink any water, didn't eat, I just ran off coffee, probably some like Bang Energies, and I was literally shaking and sweating and like convulsing when I got home. Like I put a number on myself, and ever since then I try not to go out overnight. And if I have to, I try to eat properly and stay hydrated. And you have to consume a bunch of caffeine because you're literally staying up all night and you're driving around using equipment, so you have to be alert. But it's still, for lack of better words, it fucks you up. Like, you feel sick. At least I do the next day. Like, you're laying in bed, your body's trying to regulate temperature because you went from cold to hot, cold to hot, cold to hot, cold to hot, in and out of the truck, in and out of the truck. All night, you're wet, you're cold, you're overly caffeinated, then you get home and just like your body's like, you can't relax. So it sucks. It sucks. And I try to avoid it, but the way the storm worked, I kind of thought, you know what, like there could be, they were calling for some potential lake effect coming in overnight from like that midnight hour to 6 a.m. And there's already a good amount of snow on the ground. So my theory was, okay, either we wait until morning and we could potentially be dealing with twice the amount of snow, which would suck, or we go out now, do what we have, worst case, when we're done, come back, sleep for a couple hours, and then go up back out and do it again. That's kind of the attack plan that I went with. And luckily, we didn't get anything. So come 8 o'clock, everything was done. And the plows were actually out at a good time. So a lot of our properties, the roads were already cleared, so we didn't even have to really worry about any callbacks for windrows. So all in all, it was a good event, and I should have got some footage for you. But there'll be another storm. I hope there's not, but there will be, and I'll get some footage for you there. But that's it. That's it for this one. My mouth is drier than the Sahara, and yeah, I'm gonna get this over to the dealer tomorrow and get it fixed up and have it under warranty. And if we get another storm, well then both Toros are going out. If it's a big storm, you take 2 blowers. On the smaller ones, you just take 1. But that's it. It's like 5 p.m. Where's my phone? It's right there. I gotta get the panel back on. It's like supper time. I'm gonna get in there and have something to eat. And I will see you. See you tomorrow. Look at that. That is a crazy amount of snow.